Let's talk about everything. We wanna hear what you have to say. Come and listen to the real T.E.A. Let's talk about anything. Let's discuss. So take action and evolve. We'll engage you, so tune into us.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Real T podcast, where we talk about everything and anything, and we want you to think, evolve, and take action. I'm your co-host, Nikki.
And this is Keena.
And this is Sweepy.
This is B-Love.
And today's topic is what should not be discussed on the first date. Well, you know when you go on dates and there's always someone who got to bring up something like kids. Who want to talk about kids on the first date? Let me get to know you first or whatever. You know, what's your favorite color? You know, stuff like that. I won't be hearing about, I want 5 kids. I want to get married in 2 years. You know, I don't want to hear all that. That's too much. It's just too much.
Way too much.
Have you guys ever went through that on the first date?
No, I don't think I have. Like, I've had dates. I don't think anybody has had, what you consider an inappropriate conversation on the first date. What you think, Keena?
Yeah. I'm like, my own experience, no, I've never had anybody ask any or say anything crazy or spill their guts or anything like that.
Or ask you anything personal?
No, I don't think so, because I don't think that they were that comfortable enough to share, like, secrets like that.
Right. Yeah, I think, whatever was going to come out, it was going to come out eventually, but not on the first time we're going out.
Right. Let me think. I think another thing to not talk about is politics.
Oh, God, yes.
Politics
Definitely
is a heavy discussion, and that can go all the way left.
Yes, absolutely.
You might end up screaming in the restaurant, getting a little loud. People over here looking at you all strange, like, what is going on over there?
Right. Like,
and people really be getting mad when you talk about politics.
They really do.
Like, they really be in their feelings. Like, all right, calm down, ain't that serious.
I say, especially if you're a Democrat and they're a Republican.
Oh, that's a fight.
Yeah,
that's a fight waiting to happen.
Yeah, better get your Vaseline out.
That's for real.
Because I think once that's set in motion, like you actually are claiming like I'm from one party and you're the next party, I don't think there's going to be a second date.
Yeah,
probably not.
That would be very rare. It may happen, but it's going to be very rare.
Yes.
That reminds me of this show that I was listening to on the radio, and this couple had a first date. It was pretty funny because he was like, yeah, she had the nerve to talk about she's a daggone Trump supporter. That was second date, I think not.
I said that also reminds me. That also reminds me of that show, Are You the One? There was actually a guy on there that said that he was a Republican, and everybody was looking at him sideways.
Yeah, and a Trump supporter.
Yeah, and they was looking at him like everybody was turned off. They was like, "What?" They was like, "Oh, I can't talk to him." I said there was actually one girl that was actually interested in him.
Right.
She must have been secretly supporting Trump too.
And he was a brother at that.
Yes.
That's what was so crazy about it.
Right.
I was like, oh, righty then. Okay.
You'll find a lot of, African Americans being Trump supporters. You'd be surprised.
Right. Yeah.
I remember my mom saying that, she was at the grocery store or something like that. And this African American guy was like, yeah, I support Trump. He got his, his Trump hat and all that stuff or whatever. She's like, yeah, he just wanted attention. Like, I wasn't giving it to him.
I know that's right. Like, I don't have time for your shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know you. Get out of here. Because, have you noticed that, like, like certain like black people, they'll look at you because you're the same race as them to see what you're going to say about whatever they're doing.
Right.
Not today. Not today.
Don't feed into
it.
I ain't got time, cuz.
Right. But I'm kind of glad I haven't actually had any crazy instances where somebody just told me something totally inappropriate on a date.
No, I may have had girlfriends or baby mamas calling my phone, but nothing too heavy though.
Right.
I mean, even though that's enough that sent me flying in the other direction. I was like, yeah, I don't do the drama. Sorry, gotta go. And I'm like, you can have him on top of that because he's not even my type. I don't do men that are shorter than me, which is 5'2", and I'm 5'4", so no thank you.
Yeah, because if you wear heels, you're going to be definitely towering over him.
I know.
I said, first of all, I got out the car, and I just kept, as I'm getting out the car, I just see myself getting taller and taller, and now I'm surpassing him, and I'm like, yeah, this is not going to work.
Right.
I don't want to look down on you. I want to look up to you.
Oh, you know what? I was just thinking about this dating show that they used to have on BET. I think it was like Dating from Hell or something like that. But it was crazy. Like some of those dating shows, they used to have them on regular TV too. It was just funny, the stuff that people would say to a person they just met. I'm like, did you just really say that?
Yeah.
And these shows are old. I'm gonna have to look for it, but Dating from Hell on BET, that was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Did you guys ever see My Crazy Ex on Lifetime?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. But people had first impressions, and they just like overlooked all that stuff or whatever on the first date, and they keep dating these people, and they don't really see how crazy they are. That was my show. I don't think they even have it on Lifetime anymore, but I used to love that show.
And we have to take it back. I love Love Connection. I actually love that they actually brought it back on TV.
Oh, it's still on?
Oh yeah.
Is it still on?
I don't know if it's on at this moment, but who was the host? What's his name?
What? Andy Cohen.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually hilarious. They, when me and Keena was watching it, they had some funny ones on there.
But the one from the 90s was hilarious too. I remember we used to be at my
all
grandma's house, and we used to always watching Love Connection.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I was probably like 7, but we loved us the Love Connection.
Because it was hilarious. It was funny.
It was funny.
To
Like,
see these people go on these dates, and then, they either hit it off or it's a total disaster.
Yes.
Yes. I said, what else do you think is a turnoff? Probably if you talk about finances.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, I just got laid off from my job, so I don't really have much money, so I had to move back in with my parents.
I did not need to know all
Didn't
of that.
even know that you live at home
right
with your
now,
parents at this particular moment. Now that you share this with me, I don't know.
Now I can kind of make a valid decision.
Yeah. Right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think you should tell people about your finances. Like, oh, I'm broke, or I had to file bankruptcy. Like, what?
Yes. Because that's telling me one or two things. Maybe you just fell on hard times. It happens. Okay. Or maybe you don't know how to handle your finances.
Right.
Which means
irresponsible.
I don't think I want an irresponsible person.
Right.
With me dealing with finances.
But wouldn't you kind of want to find that out, like, in the beginning, though, so you know that you dodged that bullet? Because, like, what if you keep going on date after date after date after date, and then you're going to find out how bad he is with money, and you're going to be all in love with him, and he's going to be all broke and stuff. Not saying that you were a gold digger or anything.
Right.
I'm not saying you're a gold digger, but, I think I would just want to find that out.
I don't think for the first date.
First date.
Yeah, but what if you keep going with him? What if you're going to keep going on a second date, third date, fourth date?
But eventually, everybody shows their hand.
Right.
There's only so far. I mean, unless he's a master liar, there's only so far.
I've been on, in relationships, and people didn't start showing their hand after 2, 3, 4 years. So, um, I'd rather find out in the beginning.
Unfortunately,
But
they
see-
didn't show this for a long time. Sorry.
But see,
Yeah.
Sorry you had that experience.
sometimes though, but sometimes there are signs that we really just overlook, and there's always a red flag that will pop up. You just got to know how to pay attention to what people say, how, what their mannerisms are. Just got to be very watchful.
Yes, like the guy that I shared in episode 2, where he was like, "Dang, this came to $70." That was a red flag right there. That you don't have no money. Now
Exactly.
I do understand that you did say that you lost your job. So then I kind of already knew, but then I kind of thought that, well, why would you ask me on a date if you knew that you didn't have any money?
Right.
But now you're over here embarrassing me, saying, "Oh, dang, it came to $70," and they're gonna say, "You got tip money?" I did, but I was like, no, because when somebody treats me out, I expect you to pay for everything.
You know what? That actually qualifies as a date that you wouldn't have gone on a second date for.
Oh yes, because guess what? After that, I did not go on a second date. I think he may have called me once or twice. You know how you leave a little short conversation like, "Oh, okay, all right, well, I gotta go." I was like, no.
Yeah.
That just went all the way left.
I said, I wish somebody would ask me for any kind of money, and they taking me on a date.
And then you didn't even offer and see if I want any dessert. Like, you were just like, "Oh, no, check, please." Like, excuse me? Maybe I was eyeing that lady's chocolate cake or cheesecake. Maybe I wanted some of that. Now you just shut it on down. Like, "Oh, no, you ain't getting that. Time to go."
I don't know if I told you guys that I was listening to. No, I was reading something on Instagram, and some guy said that he had just lost his. No, he was like, I guess he's in between jobs or something or whatever. So he decided to take his first date to a soup kitchen.
Oh,
And so he's like, yeah, and she acting all bougie and stuff or whatever. And she acting bougie, and I mean, she missing out on a really nice guy. He goes, I didn't have to pay for anything. She didn't have to pay for anything. She should just enjoy the conversation.
Is he serious?
Okay, well, if he just wanted to have conversation, they could have went for coffee or tea or something. Why would you ever take me to a soup kitchen on our first date?
Looking around like, what the
What?
heck? Where
And then get all mad and call her bougie because you talk about you didn't have to pay for anything. She didn't have to pay for anything. That just shows that you cheap.
Yes.
But my thing is this also, if you're in between jobs and stuff, whatever, I don't think you should be asking nobody on a daggone date until you get your stuff in order.
Exactly.
Yes. Get your life together before you asking people on dates and spending money that you know that you don't have.
Yes.
But then, like people say, like if you don't have any money, then you could do there are a lot of free things in people's states that they can do. If you go on the website, you can go to free museums. I can walk around and talk, look at artwork or something.
Yeah. Nobody ever thinks about the free stuff there is to do.
That's true. That's true. Well, I would love to go to an art museum. I love art museums.
Exactly. Y'all could have enjoyed yourself, had a good time, shared what you thought about each painting or artwork or whatever, and enjoyed yourself. You could talk because it's usually quiet
Right.
in there. I mean, you hear people talking, but it's not like a place where y'all can't communicate because it's so loud, like a movie theater. So I'm like, you gotta think of ways to enjoy those free things that your state does have in your area. All you gotta do is look it up. There's plenty of free stuff. When I don't have any money, I always look at free stuff like, I want to get out the house today. I don't have any money to spend this week. But I'm going to get out the house and enjoy the nice weather or whatever. So let me see what New Jersey has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So what website do you go on to see what?
Well, you can just type it up. I think, I don't know. I forget what New Jersey's is called, but you can just look it up. You can say free things to do in New Jersey, and like it would take you to like a bunch of different web pages. You can just click on one of them,
Right.
and it'll show you everything there is to do. Now, some of them do cost, but it's like not a lot of money. But they also do have free stuff as well, and they have the dates and times and the location.
Okay.
I'm like, so take advantage of it, people.
Right.
I
mean, another thing that you shouldn't bring up, I think you shouldn't bring up on a first date, is how soon and when you want to get married.
Right.
Okay, I'm just meeting you for the first time, or we're just, going out on a date to have a conversation about, who we are as people. We're getting to know each other. We will eventually, if the conversation is good, we will eventually get to those questions of, do you see yourself getting married? Do you want to have children, etc.?
Right.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Right.
You always get those questions. I'm like,
yes.
I don't know.
You don't think
that's kind of like a gauge to see if this person has some goals in life.
Right.
Or if they're just content with where they are.
Right. Because you do want somebody that is ambitious and not just like, oh, I don't know. Because like if you don't have any goals, that kind of says something about you.
Right.
Because it's like, what would you like to accomplish in life? Where do you see yourself going? Where are you heading? If you're saying stuff like, oh, I just take it one day at a time.
You got a lot of those.
Yeah, red flag.
They're like, I don't know where I see myself in 5 years. Do
by
you?
the seat of your pants.
Yeah. So, I don't think you should talk about that.
Yeah, marriage, no go.
Yeah, no go. Okay, so of course I was doing my research because everybody that knows me knows that I love Google. Google is your best friend.
Miss Google over here.
You already know. You can just call me Google if you want. So according to Elite Daily, the top 10 topics that you shouldn't talk about. Now, some of them we already discussed, but we will go through them again. Number 1 on their list is your ex. They say never talk about how awful your ex was. This makes you look bad, and you can come across as looking bitter. Because some people do ramble on literally the whole date about their ex, how they can't stand their ex, how their ex is crazy, their ex be stalking them, their ex won't let them see the kids, all this stuff. Or it could be the other way with a woman. Oh, my ex won't let me date other people. My ex comes to my house unexpectedly and is banging on the door drunk. I don't think your date wants to hear those horror stories, because if you do tell them all the horror stories about your ex, they're going to be turned off. They're not going to want to go on a second date with you. Right. It kind of looks like you're not over your ex. And you're literally talking about them the whole time.
Drama.
Yes, and you have drama. And that's kind of another red flag.
So what would you guys do if all of a sudden he'd be like, hold on, that's my ex calling me now?
I'm like,
I would nicely excuse myself.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? My stomach's starting to hurt. I'm not really feeling well. So maybe, it's time for us to go. But, I'll definitely call you. I will call you tomorrow. And then he calls, oh, you didn't call me. Send that joker straight to voicemail. Sorry.
Blocked. He's definitely on my block list.
Yeah. Okay, number 2 is money. They say never discuss finances. Don't talk about how much or how little you earn. Yeah, because everybody doesn't need to know. Like, dang, I haven't got a raise in 10 years. I'm still making $10 an hour at the Big Wiggly.
That's the what?
We cannot.
Where the heck is a Big Wiggly?
I don't know. Something I made up. But I guarantee it's probably a restaurant in some state called the Big Wiggly.
Well, that sounds so bad. How you're saying, oh, you only make $10 an hour.
You know what?
That sounds
not
so
to put,
bad.
Wait, not to put anybody down. I was just making a little jokey joke. But nobody needs to know like, your money issues or how much money you made, because there are also people that might think like, dang, how old are you? You 50 and you only making $10 an hour? Like, do you even have your own house, or you live at home with your mama?
Like Mama D's husband.
Oh yeah.
That's his refuge in the Titan, back to his mama's house.
Yeah, those of you that watch Love and Hip Hop.
Or what's that 90 Day Fiance? What's the guy's name?
90 Day Fiance?
Yes. What was that guy's name?
What guy?
The one that was living at home with his
glasses.
Oh, Colty.
Colty.
Yeah, Colty.
I think his name was Is his name
Yes,
Colty?
Cole.
Or she's Colty?
She is
Okay.
She adds an E
to everything.
at the end of everything. Colty.
He really don't want to leave his mom.
No.
No, they have a joint bank account.
Yeah, they even have a joint bank account, which I thought was weird.
Well, he said that's how they pay bills, but that's like a marriage to me.
Exactly.
To me. Yeah, to your mom. Number 3 is politics. This is too heavy a topic for a first date. It can get very intense. You don't want to lose a second date due to differences in political opinions. Just because you feel strongly about certain things, it doesn't mean your date needs to hear about it.
Right.
Which is true, which we did talk about earlier, because politics, it can get real heavy, especially if you find out that, you're a Democrat, this person's a Republican, or you're a Republican, that person's a Democrat. Clearly, you guys don't agree on the same things. So that can just be like a whole clash. And some people do, when things get heated, they do tend to get kind of loud.
Right.
Especially if you're in, a restaurant or something, that may not be good.
Yeah, so you definitely want to stay away from politic talk.
Yes. Just don't even do it. Number 4, they say religion. This could be a very personal thing. It can get too heated, especially if somebody doesn't share the same religion as you.
Right.
And for some people, if you are, if they're a Christian and the other person's a Muslim or something, that could be a deal breaker because they clearly don't believe in the same things. Right. And I don't know if you come out how that would go, because people that tend to talk about religion, it does get pretty heated and intense.
Absolutely.
And speaking of which, not saying about the dating or whatever, but I did have someone at my job who used to, because she was Muslim, I'm Christian.
Right.
And so I felt like she was kind of trying to convert me. Mm-hmm. And I'm just praying. I'm like, oh God, Lord. Yeah, she definitely, I'm definitely not even listening to her right now. It's going into one ear and out the other. Right. I'm like, yeah, sure. Change subject.
Yes, because some people do try to convert you over to their religion. You're like, like you have your beliefs, I have mine.
Right.
If you respect mine, I respect yours. Yeah, let's just not even go there.
And then I think it was like actually a month ago, I had went to go deliver something to this corporate building, and the lady at the desk, whatever, she's all like, "Oh, your hair is so pretty," or whatever. So I'm like, "Oh, thank you," whatever. I come back down, and she's like, "You're," she said something about, "Oh yeah, you believe in God, don't you?" or whatever. And I was like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "Oh, you're really familiar with Jehovah's Witnesses?" I was like, "Oh, well, I'm a Baptist." And she's like, "Oh, well, that's okay. We'll just take this handout anyway." I was like, "Oh Lord."
Mm-mm.
Yes, like that's going in the garbage. No offense, but yeah,
the Jehovah's Witnesses are really good for trying to convert you.
Oh yeah, because they ring our doorbell all the time. Because I can see them. I can see them from the window, in their suits, in their little briefcase, and they got their little clipboard out, and they'll keep ringing our doorbell like 10 times, and I'm like, okay, if we
like, I know you in there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
open up the door.
Yeah, and I'm like, if we didn't come to the door the first two knocks or rings or whatever, clearly either we're not home, or we know who you are, and
we ducking.
Yeah, exactly. We ducking and dodging.
We don't open our door for anybody we ain't expecting.
Exactly.
Oh, so
Even if it's even if it's family, if you ain't let me know you coming over, the door ain't getting answered. Sorry.
Hold up. You mean to tell me that I can't come to your house unannounced?
Yeah, absolutely right.
Tell me I can't come unannounced. What?
Absolutely.
So you welcome anytime. Oh, you lied.
I mean, if you're at the door saying it's an emergency, of course I'm going to let you in.
Well, ain't going to be no emergency. I'm coming chill.
Oh, well, then
I expect you to have some snacks too.
You know what? We can't have snacks on demand just because you want to show up.
You need to. I'm just saying, you should automatically have snacks. Like, I'm going to have some snacks in the house because, Nikki's going to be here.
Well, probably. There's a Wawa down the street.
But if you're just showing up, how am I know you're going to be here?
I guess we make it a store run then, huh?
So what happens if
I guess
we're not home?
Make that phone call, huh?
So what happens if we're not home?
Well, then I'm like, where you at? I don't see your car. Where you at?
Like, we're out. Woody, where are you at? I'm at your front door. I'm sorry, did you call to let us know?
Well, you ain't tell me it's going to be anywhere, so let's just keep it at that.
That's just like Judge Toller, because Judge Toller said the same thing. She was like,
listen,
if family come over to her house unannounced, she was like, I'm sorry, I'm not letting you in. She's like, because I'm the type of person that if I know you're coming over, I like to be prepared. I like to get you some snacks, some food in the fridge and stuff, something that could whip you guys up. She was like, I don't care if you're family or not. Like, if you don't call, I'm not letting you in. I had to laugh at that.
Plus, some people you got to be mentally prepared for.
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Okay, number 5 is family background. You may have had a terrible family upbringing. Maybe you had an abusive dad or an alcoholic mom. Whatever the case, this is simply too much to bring up on a first date. It might end up sounding more like a therapy session. Yeah, because some people's family background, they did have a lot going on. And, sometimes it can feel like a therapy session if everybody's venting and telling you all their family problems, people that, they don't get along with, people that they may not like. It can be a little much.
Right.
So I think definitely stay away from that. Because, some people do have drama with like their parents or siblings. I don't think I've had it on the first date, but I have had people tell me like, oh, they haven't talked to their brother in years because their brother did this and that, and they're at war right now. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Like, I did not need to know that, but okay, thank you for sharing.
And even though it wasn't the first date, it was somebody that I really didn't know like that. And I was like, all right. And it was like, yeah, I don't want to ever see his face again. Because he know why I'm mad. I was like, okay. All right. I was like, oh, was it that bad? I don't even want to talk about it. But you know what? He better not call my phone because I blocked that joker. He better not call my phone. I'm like, okay, well, you said you didn't want to talk about it, but you still going on. This will change the subject. But no, earlier that just got me heated, yo. Yo, he better not call my phone, yo. He got me real heated right now. No, let's talk about something else now.
Uh-huh.
I'll be like,
would definitely not have another date after that.
I'm like, okay, I think it's time for me to go home.
Yes.
Oh, you leaving already?
It will be over.
Yeah. I
gotta get up early in the morning.
I forgot. I gotta feed my puppy.
Such a fool.
Okay, number 6 is sexual experience. Don't talk about how many sexual encounters you've had or how much you date. You don't know this person yet, and this is a very personal and private topic, especially if somebody has a lot of sexual partners. That can kind of be a turnoff.
Yeah, why would you tell somebody that?
Oh, yeah. Especially
that is definitely information you need to keep to yourself.
And especially don't be the one to say, oh, how many sexual partners you had? And they're over here counting in their head for like 10 minutes. And he's like, I asked you a question. Oh, I'm still counting. Wait.
Relationships barely try not to ask that question. Why would I ask a stranger that?
Yeah, like, oh, I'm still counting. It's been like 10 minutes. Well, I had a lot of sexual partners. Okay. Time for me to go.
I think some people ask that question.
Right. I mean, I'm never a person to judge, but I didn't want to know that.
But I think some people ask that questions because there's a lot of diseases and stuff going out around here.
And I trust me, I get it.
But not on the first date.
That.
Not on the first date.
But yes, like you that's a question you ask down the line once you get to know them. And some people, like I said, in a relationship, don't even want to know the answer to that question.
I said because I don't think that you should. I don't think you should be asking out on the first date anyway. Because I mean, I would hope you don't plan on sleeping with that person on the first date.
You never know.
You don't even know them.
It happens.
But think about it. If you're so scared
safe.
But think about it. If you're so scared of diseases,
then you wouldn't be sleeping with a person on the first date.
That's true. You're right about that.
Just saying. Number 7 is marriage. Don't talk about you're ready to have kids and get married. This will scare your date away. This is something you can talk about only after a significant amount of time has passed.
Right.
Yeah, because some people just jump right into it like, oh, I want to get married after dating somebody for 6 months. And they're going to be like, wait, what?
Like, how about we just date each other and see where this goes? Why are we giving ourselves a time frame?
And that's especially with some men, that makes them a little nervous. They're like, okay, well, first of all, I don't even know you that well. And I don't even want to think about in 6 months, me and you get married. Like, that's a little too much.
Right.
And let me see what else. Next one is number 8. Don't talk about how the person turns you on or how much you want to take him or her back home in order to have sex.
I mean, listen, unless y'all both into it, hey, y'all grown, do what y'all do. Yeah, but you don't know how that person's going to react if you say something sexual in regards to, taking them home. You don't know. So you might want to play that a little close.
Yes, because what if you just happen to say it to somebody, they're looking at you like, I'm sorry, what? Right. I don't even know you.
Wait.
I'm not about to go to your house and do nothing.
Right. Just like we were watching this show called Married at First Sight. And one of the couples were out. They had just gotten married. Of course, they don't know each other. They got married, but now they have to date each other to get to know each other. So they're out, and then the guy asked her, oh, no, I'm sorry. They were on their honeymoon. And the guy asked her about, how did she feel about threesomes? I'm what? Like, wait a minute.
What? Which one was that? I don't remember that.
Yes.
Wait, was this the last one that was on?
No. I forget what season it was. It was a black couple.
Yeah, remember the one where they had to commute back and forth because their jobs was kind of far.
He lived matter of fact, he lived in Jersey and she lived in New York.
Yeah, it was a black couple. It was a black couple. Remember the one, the guy who had glasses?
First season.
God. Oh, yes, I remember them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, well, how do you feel? They're just casually eating. And he just comes out with this question like, well, how do you feel about threesomes? She's looking at him like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, she said that was a turnoff. She was like, she goes, I felt like that wasn't the time because even though we got married at first sight, we're still getting to know each other. So it's like we're dating for the first time because I don't know you and you don't know me. Right. So why would you just out of nowhere ask me about threesomes?
Right. You don't know if she's into that type of stuff or not.
Exactly.
Like, that's kind of just weird to be bringing up.
Very weird. I was like, okay.
Yeah. No. So stay away from that.
Weird to be bringing up. Sorry, y'all.
Sorry, sometimes we have random singing outbursts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, please excuse us.
Oh, boy.
Number 9 is secrets. Number 9 is secrets. Don't share your deepest, darkest secrets with someone you just met. He or she simply hasn't earned your trust yet. Moreover, this is extremely inappropriate and will probably not be received well. Like, yeah, when I was like 2 years ago, I had stole a loaf of bread from the store. And I felt really bad about it, but I did pay the guy. But, I just wanted to steal. Like, I had the money, but it was just a rush of it. Like,
so you're a klepto.
Yes, like stuff like that. You're a klepto breader.
Wait, what's a klepto?
Someone who has a compulsion for stealing.
Oh, big word.
They don't really have to. They don't really have to steal. They just do it because that's just like,
Oh, I never heard of that word before.
You never heard of kleptomaniac?
No. To all my listeners out there, don't laugh at me. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, she has her still moments.
You know who was a klepto? Oh my God, what's her name? What's the girl that played on Edward Scissorhands as the daughter that he had a crush on?
Oh, Winona Ryder.
Yeah, she was a klepto.
Oh,
She was going to
yeah.
store stealing things.
Oh, yeah, she sure was.
And she had money. She just liked
to steal stuff.
Yeah.
I guess it was the rush. Oh, speaking of that, I had a roommate back in college that actually liked to steal. She would plan to go to the mall with someone, and she would bring a really big bag with her. And I'm like, oh, where you going? She was like, oh, this is my bag where I steal stuff in. So, yes, she would come back. She would come.
You just admit something.
Yeah, she would come back with jeans and shirts and stuff. And she would hang them up in her closet like, oh, yeah, you like these jeans I just bought? I'm like,
Was she selling this
I'm like, well,
stuff?
first of all, you didn't buy them. You stole them.
Was she selling this stuff?
No. She was just taking them and
okay.
stuff. And because she said she used to do it in, she's from New York. She said she used to do it in New York.
Oh, she was a booster.
Yeah. And so one time she had a scare because she went to the mall and tried to steal earrings. And the little door detector thing was going off. So she got scared. She goes, oh my God, my heart was beating so bad. Like, I almost got caught stealing these earrings. I was like, I'm never stealing at the mall again. But then maybe a week or two later, the girl across the hallway came banging on our door. And she was like, where is she at? Where is she at? I was like, yeah, I don't know. I think she went to the bathroom. And so she waits maybe 5 minutes later. She comes back and knocks on the door and she's yelling at my roommate. And she's all like, I know you stole my pair of jeans. Give them back. And I did see her come in the room with some jeans. And I was kind of thinking to myself, well, where did you get those from?
Excuse me.
And they still have the tag on them. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you didn't just purchase those. And I'm pretty sure somebody wasn't nice enough to be like, oh, here, take these jeans. So she was yelling at them, like, give them back. She was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She goes, I'm telling you right now, you got 5 seconds to give me back my pair of jeans. And I knew she wasn't playing because both of them was from New York. And I was like, I think she was from either Brooklyn or the Bronx. And I was like, oh, you better give her back her jeans because she's not playing with you. She is not. Something
not playing
down
with you.
today. So all of a sudden she opens her closet. She goes, here. She goes, really? So how you going to come in my room and steal my jeans? And the only reason why she got away with stealing them, I think because the girl had left her in her room. And she went down the hall somewhere. And then she came back. And she was like, even though she said, I had a lot of clothes that had tags on them. She was like, but I knew that one of my jeans was missing. I was like, Oh, and then I felt bad. There was another incident where she actually stole this girl's blow pop. And I felt so bad because the girl said her mom had sent them to her. And it was just horrible.
That was she stole her blow pop.
Blow pop.
Yeah, it was one of those. Remember the big ones they used to have, like the super blow pops. I guess they were I guess they were her favorite, and she was pretty upset about that. Cause somebody told me that she was crying because she was like, not because it was a blow pop. It's like the principle of the matter. Like somebody on your floor came in your room and stole something, and then your parents got it for you, knowing that it's your favorite, and then you stole it.
Yeah, you don't be messing with nobody's food.
Exactly. And last but not least, work drama. Gossip is exhausting and you aren't in high school anymore. Instead of talking about water cooler gossip or how much you hate your job, talk about your passion and ambitions. And remember, endlessly talking about yourself is just rude. A first date should be an easygoing conversation and more like give and take where you both talk and listen. Be respectful and engage your date. Yes, I definitely think that I don't think that the person that you're on a date with wants to hear all of your work drama that's going on in your workplace. You know, people fighting.
Work drama. Sorry.
You better sing it.
Because then that kind of tells them a story about you. Like, oh, okay, you're a gossip.
Yes.
Because you don't even know me and you're telling me all about the drama at your job.
Right. And then talking about it too much can seem like you like it.
Right. And it makes the
save that for later.
And it makes the person hesitant, like, okay, if you're going to talk about them and if we get in a relationship, you're going to tell all my business to someone else.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
so no,
true.
don't want to do that.
No. So, all of our listeners, take this in mind about all the stuff that we read and stay away from them. Stay away.
Stay far away.
Yes. And to our audience, please make sure that you guys comment on each episode that we post. Comment below on Instagram, on Facebook. We want to hear back from you guys. And you can also email us too at the real T. I'm sorry, our email is therealtpodcast@gmail.com. Also hit us up on Instagram at the real T podcast, and on Facebook, just the real T. But yeah, we definitely want to hear back from you guys on this episode as well. What do you guys
give us
think?
5 stars?
Yes.
Yes, please give us 5 stars. And also, we do appreciate the emojis, but we would actually like for you to actually use your words and tell us how you like our podcast. What would you like us to talk about on our podcast? So please, and also subscribe. Make sure you subscribe.
Yes.
Because that will let you guys know. That will let you guys know when new episodes are being posted.
Yes.
So please subscribe, give us 5 stars, and also comment down below.
Yeah, and you can check us out on iTunes to listen to our podcast or on Podbean.
Yes. And thank you for listening. Tune in for the next episode.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.